good morning. And we do have our special guest on the line this morning. I'm Jay Bowles here with Landon Johnson. And on the line this morning, we have Dr. Ronny Jackson. Dr. Jackson, how are you today?
Hey, Jay. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great. Hey, that is exciting. You know, we had the runoff here a couple of weeks ago. And, man, after running a great campaign, I bet you were relieved to have that over and excited.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard-fought race, and glad to have that that part behind us. But you know, we're staying focused and motivated, and we're not taking our foot off the gas. We got to finish this thing in November, so we're not making any assumptions or taking anything for granted. So we're working hard. You
bet. Well, I've got Landon here, of course. You've spoken with him quite a few times. You'll keep in pretty close contact. He's kind of one of your people who let you know what's going on down in this neck of the woods. So I'm going to turn things over to him.
Okay.
Hey, Ronny, congratulations on the election.
Thank you, Landon. Appreciate it.
We've got something going on here. Hang on just a second.
Yeah, I've got something going on. I think you grabbed the wrong one. Yeah, there you go. We've got several microphones in here, Ronny, and Landon happened to grab the only one that's not plugged in right now.
I'm not as savvy as most people are in this room, but here we go. Okay, congratulations on the runoff against Josh Weingartner. We know that was a hard fought, long and strenuous battle. And what's crazy is you don't have a whole lot of time to regroup and going into the general election because the primary was pushed back so far. The runoff was pushed back so far due to the COVID issues. So, how's all that going? Are you campaigning as we speak?
Oh yeah, we're still aggressively pushing it. But you're right. You know, usually you'd be done in March with the primary, and then you'd have from between March and November. You know, and there's a lot of time there to kind of ramp up and get ready for the general. But, yeah, you're right. This was pushed so far to the right that, we had the election and then, boom, we're right into August. And a lot of folks are, going on vacation and stuff right now. And then, Congress is going to be out of session here for most of the month of August. They come back, and then it's just going to be game on for, September and October trying to get to November the 3rd. But, yeah, we are aggressively campaigning still. We're out there. I'm working hard to raise money. I've been to D.C. Last week. I was in D.C. all week, and I went up there, and I specifically went up there to meet with the leadership. I met with Leader McCarthy and Scalise and Liz Cheney, some of the leadership in the Republican Party. I met with multiple members of the Texas delegation, and then I ended up, because I was up there, I hopped on the plane with President Trump and flew to Midland, Odessa for his event, Midland, Odessa, and then back up to D.C., and then spent 2 more days there meeting at the White House with Peter Navarro and his team about some of the pharmaceutical stuff that we're doing. But one of my big focuses while I was in D.C. was I was talking to the leadership up there about what I want to do when I get up there in November. Not being presumptuous, but if I get elected in November, I was letting them know what committees I want to be on and what kind of impact I want to have. And I told them that I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get on the Ag Committee. That's gonna be my number one choice, to get on the Agriculture Committee. So I'm pretty sure that that's gonna happen.
Oh, that's great, man. That's great. Yeah, we've been kind of I've been keeping up, and watching what's going on, and going back to what you mentioned. If we could elaborate on a little bit, how was the trip to Midland with the president?
It was great. It was on the plane. It was me and Jody Arrington, Congressman Jody Arrington from the 19th Congressional District, Congressman Conaway from the 11th Congressional District, which is there in Midland, which is where we're going, and Ted Cruz and Ronny McDaniel from the RNC. So we were kind of the guests on board, and so we sit in the conference room on Air Force One and spent the whole time up there and back talking. It was really useful to me. Congressman Arrington and Congressman Conaway are being a huge help to me. Congressman Conaway is the only Texan on the Ag Committee right now, and he's retiring. So he's really interested in helping me get on the Ag Committee, so we'll have a Texan on agriculture. And Jody Arrington's been a friend of mine for a long time. So it was really a good trip, and I got a lot of good advice from the president, Ted Cruz, as well. So I enjoyed it.
Great. And you also mentioned that you were in D.C. meeting with House Minority Leader, hopefully soon to be Majority Leader, Kevin McCarthy, and other key members of Congress. You want to elaborate on that a little bit? How that went?
Yeah, no, there, because I'm coming from, like I said, I'm not being presumptuous or making any assumptions here. We still have an election in November, but I did win the Republican, nomination. I'm the Republican candidate now in the most Republican district in the entire country. So, things should go well, and I should end up, winning this election in November. And so they're kind of taking that approach. So they're talking to me a lot about, where I want to have an impact, and they're actually talking to me some about some other stuff too, about helping some other candidates. It's going to be really important to us here in the 13th congressional district that we keep Texas red, that we don't lose any seats to Democrats in this state, because they're eroding this state away. They've taken Austin from us already, and they're coming after Dallas and Houston, and we have to stop that that encroachment of the Democrats into these House seats. So I'm going to work hard behind the scenes as much as I can, and out front when I can, helping some of the other candidates get elected as well, so that we can make sure that they're there to help me protect us up here in the 13th congressional district and our Texas values. And I'm working hard to make sure that we win this race here, and I'm going to be all over the district just like I was before. I'm going to be up and down 287. You're going to see me there in Childress just all the time. So we're going to work hard. Great.
That's great to hear. Last week, and I was fortunate enough to watch this. I watched as William Barr, I guess you could call it, say that he testified before the House Judiciary Committee. I don't know how much testimony he actually got in on part of it anyway. It was hard to watch that the elected officials in the House of Representatives for the United States treat Attorney General of the United States like they did. Can I get just these guys are very possibly going to be your future colleagues. Can you talk to me just a little bit about your opinion on how all that went down?
Well, I think it's disgusting. I think that it's sad that we've lost that, that level of respect just for one another, and especially for somebody, with the position of Attorney General of the United States. Congress, they should carry themselves better than that. And the Democrats didn't care. It was all for show. They didn't really want to hear what he said in the first place. They just wanted to get him up there. They're all trying to get up there and get in front of the Attorney General and make outrageous statements that they can use for clips in their campaign videos coming up. That's what that happened. I guarantee you, all of that footage is going to end up in campaign videos for these Democrats, and that was all that was about, was to get up there and showboat in front of everybody and get that message on their campaign ads. So it's disgusting the way they carry themselves. That's why I think we got to get some better people in Congress. We've got some really just not good individuals in general that are in our Congress right now. We've got to get rid of these people and get some people in there with some common sense and some people that can have a little respect for each other and get something done for the American people.
That's great. I'm glad to hear you say that. And just kind of to let everybody know, we've got an election coming up in just a little less than 3 months, a day less than 3 months, and you're up for election against Gus Trujillo, the Democratic candidate for the 13th congressional district, and with that being said, President Trump's up for re-election. We've got Joe Biden, running against him on the Democratic side, and I truly believe that this will be the most important election in my lifetime, possibly the most important election in the history of the United States. And I truly believe that people will be choosing a free state over socialist state at this point in November. And I hope that people really understand what this is all about. Can you just talk to us a little bit about that?
I think you're absolutely right. I think you always hear people say, every time an election rolls around, this is the most important election of our lifetime. But really, it's true this time, and you can just look at what's going on around this country. Just watch the news, in the evenings, and you can see, stores being looted, businesses being burned, people being, victimized and sometimes killed in the streets around this country with no law enforcement anywhere to be found. These mobs, these Antifa and these socialist Marxist groups taking over portions of U.S. cities. I mean, it's insane. Nobody would think that something like this could possibly happen in the United States. It's happening. And the people that are out there right now, there's always a lot of rhetoric on the left saying they're going to do this, they're going to do that. So they're like, well, they're just saying that to get elected. They're not really going to do that. Believe you, these people mean what they're talking about. They are going to get in there and do that. People like AOC and Talib and Omar, and these are radical people that will carry through with the crazy rhetoric that's coming out of their mouths right now. It will happen. So we have got to stop this, or we will lose this country.
I couldn't agree with you more, Ronnie. I truly believe when I say that, and I'll say it again, we are choosing freedom over socialism on November 3rd. And I hope people listen to that. I hope people get out and vote. They've extended early voting in Texas, I believe by a week. Jay was talking about that just a minute ago during our trading post. And people have got to get out and vote. Can't be scared to get out and vote. Protect yourself. Do whatever you need to do to make yourself feel good about it. But get out and cast your vote November 3rd.
I agree with you, Landon. I just point out one more thing, too. I was talking on the plane, and I believe it was either Ronny McDaniel or Ted Cruz. I think it was Ted Cruz who told me that the last election, 25 million registered voters, Christians, 25 million Christians did not vote last time. I mean, we've got the vote. We just got to get to the polls. So if we get good conservative Christian voters out there, voting, for the Republican, we can stop what's happening in this country. But you're right; people have to go to the polls.
They have to, and that just tells you right there what can be done if people will actually get out and vote. And I hope they do. If the Christian community wants to continue to worship freely, they better get out and cast their vote.
Yes, sir.
Along with everybody else. Ronny, we sure appreciate you coming on this morning. We know you're busy. We'll let you get back to it, and we'll be talking to you, I'm sure, again before the election is coming. And good luck to you, and keep up the good fight, man.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
You bet.